And hello, everybody. Yes, it's now 2024, and wow, have you checked the news? So it seems we have quite a lot. Now, we already knew that we were going to have a Super Saiyan 3 and a Hirudegarn, but now we just have the events, and let's have a quick look through it. Could be a longer video because we have some great surprises. But we'll just talk straight into it. So, of course, we have all the information of events. We have like new step up banners. We have login bonuses. All the Dokkan events are open, all your Easy A's are open, right? And there's going to be some new banners, of course. So we'll touch into it. So, of course, yes, everyone will now get effectively 24 stones, and you'll get 3 of these Icaruses. Each one sells about 8.1 million, but obviously you'll probably just want to collect them just for collector's sake, right? It's not exactly difficult to make money, so it's just a thing for a collector's item, right? So we have new missions, and of course, it's multiple themes on here, right? But the main one here is look at this one. So 2024 opens up with Cell Saga. And of course, the Happy New Year is also like roughly the Android kind of saga. So we have all the New Year Step Up Summon. Now, Step Up Summon. So we know then that in the last year it was the 2nd and 5th that gave you an LR. In fact, it was the first time where you were guaranteed 2 LRs. This time round, it's going to be in the step 3 and 5, but you're still guaranteed an LR. Now, what would have happened here in particular? It might still be the same, where your first guaranteed LR will be one that has an Easy A. And the roster will have increased, with the step 5 being something. So, like step 5's roster, you're guaranteed. I mean, this was the guaranteed one. These are all the ones that had Easy A's. And in number 5, I mean, you had all the way up to like, well, the 7th anniversary LRs came in. Janemba would have kicked in. There would be a whole bunch of units that would have come in quite decently, alongside any of the other older known LRs. So that was pretty good. The roster is pretty decent for a lot of players. I mean, to come away with a category lead, we're talking like Turles has recently had his Easy A. We're talking this guy and this guy. I mean, these 3 have just had their Easy A. Super Saiyan 4's just had his Easy A. You know, these 2 have just had their Easy A's. They're all pretty good in 2023, right? So that's pretty good. This roster will have increased a little bit. There's always more leaders coming out for Extreme and Superclass, and then of course the roster for this will probably include the 8th anniversary stuff. So you know that could be pretty lit. So yeah, each one of course is 200 stones. And of course, for 50 stones, you're guaranteed an Easy A LR, right? So that's cool. So if you're new to this game, this is absolutely the best value banner you'll ever have. And we can talk about it more in another video. But we're moving on. But yeah, so we have this one in particular. We have a perhaps 2 step up banners. We have Super Class and Extreme Class. That might seem like a money grab, but it's curious that you can actually dedicate yourself to a Super Class or an Extreme Class. That's pretty cool. Right, moving down, we have Stone Sales. I've just checked. Now, it has literally just turned into the new year, and these are still not up. So as from when the reset is 2 a.m, it looks like 2 a.m. So I've got a wee bit of time before it goes. Of course. So now we have the new unit. So touching in theme that this one here, they open up with Cell Saga. I know for a fact that, of course, you can have Super Saiyan 3, which might be a separate thing. But we also have Cell Saga here. Now we have the 2 new units coming up. We have Super Saiyan Gohan when he's training. And, of course, we have this Trunks when he's trying to fight off Cell, right? So let's have a look at this particular one. Now, these, of course, are only... well, he's a full lead, but the other ones are 130, but this appears to be the full deal. So we have a Mastered Evolution or Android Cell Saga, 170%, with the additional for Rapid Growth for Earthbred Fighters. All right, so Mastered Evolution and Earthbred Fighters or Rapid Growth is pretty good. We're talking Android Cell Saga with Earthbred Fighters. We're touching them back onto the LR at the top, right? They are going to be them. So that's going to be absolutely insane. So what do we have? 2 key, 150% to stats. What are we talking about at 55%? 55% comes in at a rather ridiculous 7,000. So let's see what this guy does. Because honestly, you're going to come in at 7,000 for a 2024 unit. You've got to do something special. So you get 100% extra. Okay, launch an additional super attack. Launch an additional attack that has a 70% chance to become a super attack and a 50% chance to guard when there are 3 or more Cell Saga allies on the team. Okay, you get an additional 70% when performing a super attack, of which your super attack effect 30% stats raised. Attacks are super effective against all types when there's a cell. Okay. And then you transform. So, nothing special here, but transformed units, they often get better. So, coming off the bat, 2 key is really nice. Units with key at the start means they really don't so much need key, which is really nice. 150% solid, but again, coming in with 2024 is a bit of a bummer. Okay, so you get 100, so you get an extra 100%. You get a guaranteed additional with a 70% chance to super, 50% chance to guard with 3 or more android cells. So I mean, if you're going to do this, I mean, this is, I'll be honest, this seems pretty underwhelming. If you're going to do this, it needs to be one. You can't give us this disappointingness in this particular time and have this. This is a bit of a flop. This is nice because when it ties in with your 30%, you actually, in a sense, get 100%. Any additional super attacks, this does not proc. But on super attack, you'll get an extra 100%. So you can walk away with 150, another 100, so that's 250, and then in a sense, 350 altogether. 350% seems great, but again, it's not as much as you think. I mean, super effective against the cell, yeah. Currently, I'd say the more recent EZA Tech Trunks, Super Saiyan Trunks, is kind of better. So let's have a look. So we can transform 60% or more HP from the 3rd turn. Okay, so that one, that's not so bad. If you 60% or more is pretty generous. It could be worse, like 70. So that's something. Transformation. Here we go. Transforms at the start of the next turn if you perform 5 or more attacks. So just any attack, or when there's a person whose name's Cell, right? And that's starting from the 5th turn. So it's not as if it's instantaneous. God, this seems. I click on Super Trunks, he has got to be badass because otherwise this is a flop. So it takes you 5 turns in the next attacking turn or just 5th turn from Cell. So that, honestly, what the hell? Because, I mean, you have additionals built in. So you could have a hidden potential system which gives you 3 of these attacks, right? But, I mean, it's not a bad turnaround. I mean, you're still looking at turn 5 minimum, which in sense that could still be turn 6 then, in theory. Turn 5 of the battle is probably your quickest one. Seriously, let's have a look at this guy. This guy better be really good. Okay, right. Never mind. 4 key 300% to stats. Okay, fine. When I was saying he's badass, he kind of has become badass. Jesus. He launches an additional super attack and guaranteed guard for 3 turns from when you first appear. Jesus. You get an additional 200% attack and defense with the more HP remaining. Good God. So every 10% HP lost, you lose 20% to stats. An additional 100% on super attack. Your super attack effect, 30% for the turn, and all attacks become crits. Jesus, my God, this is like that's like a slightly upgraded version of STR Pure Saiyan Vegeta. Stuns enemies attacked by the character's super attack. Okay, so when applicable, you not only stun them, which is guaranteed in your passive, you also guarantee crits. Good God. I mean, okay, somehow they've actually done well. What a change. What an absolute. He is badass. That is such a mental change. 4 key 300%. Sounds like the other Trunks. There's a physical and STR Trunks. Actually kind of respectable, and they have 300% as well. This is nice. You get a guaranteed additional super attack, of which, it's just extra crits, but more importantly, you still get attack and defense. Guaranteed guard really helps to shore up a little bit. So you could potentially go into slot 1 because you do have guard, right? So you will be able to absorb a fair bit. And this is nice, right? If you can get away a slot 1 without being hit with a super attack, by the time you super attack, you're going to be pretty solid. The guy will have a 200% team. It's just a wee bit of a shame that this is. I mean, even at Rainbow, you're only talking just shy of 10,000. And the latter end of 2023, we were seeing some really decent entry levels here. So this is a bit annoying. But sure. Anyway, let's have a look. So we have Golden Warrior, Messenger from the Future, Super Saiyan, Royal Lineage, Fierce Battle, Soul versus Soul, and Prepare for Battle. The good news is we have stuff like Golden Warrior and Prepare for Battle, which gives us plenty of key, and then of course we have plenty of attack. Royal Lineage also gives key. The fact that you have 2 key in your other form and 4 key in this, you're not going to struggle too much. There is what, 4, 8, 12, 16? Oh, we have 17 teams. That's going to be pretty insane. Ones of note here, we're talking Saviors, Connected Hope and Trusted Will, Heavenly Events. Let's have a look. Rapid Growth and Mastered Evolution. They could be really good. A nice buff to Android Cell Saga, that could be really good. I wouldn't personally say Future Saga, and I wouldn't personally say Saiyans or Power Beyond, but because they have more respectable people in there, but stuff like Saviors, Connected Hope and Trusted Will, Heavenly Events, Rapid Growth, Mastered Evolution, the fact that you're actually a 200% lead for the interchanging one, that's actually really, really good. So this is it. This is the links that you can carry across the most. This is the guy who I thought is probably better. Arguably, this guy's better than this guy's base, but this one, he might just be better than this guy. The other units are these two here. They both have a rather very simple passive, but it works. They trigger all 7 links and all, I don't know how many, 17 teams. That is an insane amount of teams. So I mean, like, the entire top row is incredibly useful. You're useful. You're useful. No. So you're useful. So these two are a bit of a miss. We're about to see what this guy can do, and the rest are good. Transforming Vegeta. We'll touch on him in a moment because he has his easy A. We have a 200% for Future Saga. And there are a couple of other Royal Lineage and Cell Saga Vegetas in here, which are actually good. This is an interesting unit. The base part of this unit is pretty crap, but then the transform version is pretty nutty. All right, so what do we get from the banner unit? Heavenly Events is a 130%. Okay, so let's have a look. So we have 10% at the start of the HP recovered. That's pretty weird for a Gohan, right? So additional 40% HP when HP is 40%. Wait, you recover an additional 40% HP when you fall below 40 just once only. Okay, so that's like half a senzu bean. So 140% at the start of turn. You get an additional 140% on super attack, of which you're then guaranteed an additional attack that has a 70% chance to become a super when HP is 70% or more. Key 1 up to 5 and defense 20% up to 100 with each attack received. Heavenly Events or Mastered Evolution allies 2 key 30% defense. This is nice. It's not as if we need attack anymore these days. That is probably the best part of this. Is it me, or is this weird that a Gohan, or especially a Kid Gohan, has this? I mean, it's nice, right? You get 10% back, which is, not bad at all. And then, of course, this. What's his super attack effect? Greatly raises attack. Interesting. I think the weird bit about this is, I mean, this is nice and this is nice, right? But sure. But I mean, this is kind of largely irrelevant because he's a banner unit, so his attack is not going to be fantastic. It just won't be. And yet we are going to greatly stack attack. This guy greatly stacks attack is what I'm thinking of. That's pretty ridiculous. Let's see. So this as well. So like this, are you really going to have this guy take hits? No. I mean, in monotype, Super Battle Road or something? Yeah, sure. But like this is not good. What's his stats? We enter the game with, are you seriously? Are you kidding me? 5,000. Yeah, God, even at 100%, 8,300, this guy's going to get his ass kicked in. This is, Oof, this is. I mean, you expect him in the ninth era of 24, so the ninth era of Dokkan Battle, to have this is pretty bad. And this, I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't fit. Greatly stacks attack. I mean, come on, he's not, but yet he builds up defense. Ah, that's pretty weird. Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior race, all in the family, Super Saiyan, fierce battle, soul versus soul, and prepared for battle. Pretty good. Good on these teams. In particular, we're looking at Cell Saga, which could be pretty good. Entrusted Will, Rapid Growth, Heavenly Events are some of the key ones you could point out. Yeah. So of course we have all these available units, and of course we can get these from the just the fact that it's Goku Family Hybrid, or the fact that you're actually on Cell Saga, like this particular LR and the counter unit going for it, which is pretty great. Easy A LR Gohan, still pretty solid to this day. And then a whole bunch of rest. You know, there's actually one other unit in here. I don't. They share the same name, but is a tech version of this. I think he's from the World Tournament, and even though that unit from the World Tournament doesn't have an awakening, he's better than this guy. And the guy and this little kid is a few years old by now, which is this is pretty bonkers. Nonetheless, pretty recent Easy A from the World Tournament, and he's pretty respectable. There's a lot of capable. I mean, you see some names on this. How many top tier LRs we have in this, right? That's not bad. I mean, this guy's very good, triggering 5 links and their key in attack. So I mean, that's pretty good. Let's have a look. With powerful comeback, I don't even know if you share powerful comeback. No, you don't, but you do share these. It's key and attack links, right? Who would you share with all in the family? All in the family would be this guy, but what's the respective parts? You could legitimately use them on Cell Saga, fine. You could make a case for Hybrid Family and Goku Family. Sure, that's probably not too bad, but altogether, this guy's not going to be that great because, well, he's just built different. I mean, Trunks is one thing, right? When he goes from one extreme to the other, which is that's a thing in itself. But then these guys, yeah, okay. So we can touch more into them and their respective better parts and how they can fit into teams in another video. But we'll keep moving on. So 2024, we are still kicking off with. So we have the new units. So the new proper official Dokkan Fest is going to be Cell Saga, Trunks. And then, of course, we have the Super Saiyan 3 and Hirudegarn, but that's not the official one. Super Strike. My video is released. It looks like I could release at any point within the next few days, and that touches on what this guy can do. Elder Guru's guidance. So this has not long been away. It's nice. This is brilliant. Since they updated it from a few years ago, you can very easily finish off links to level 10. It's really, really good for doing that. So if you got things that are hovering around 9s, just stick them in. You'll get a whole bunch of them up, and your power level from the Scouter will go up pretty much big time. Launch will definitely show up. If launch shows up, you get additional rewards, right? More confirmation of Cell Saga, as we have all of these Cell Saga and the respective era coming up. And then all the Easy A's reopen, which is pretty good, and all the respective LR Easy A's reopen, right? And the Super Strikes, that's pretty good. There is one thing to notice then. So we touched on it before, and it's probably the biggest hype going on this, and we have no idea what the information is thus far. But we have the Easy A physical transforming Vegeta. He finally, after about he's been a same day unit release from 4 years ago, I want to say. Um, he has the potential to be something extraordinary. But now, yeah, so he's probably going to be the highlight of this particular campaign. Super Saiyan transforming Vegeta physical. Pretty nuts. You can imagine this is going to be a flat out another pure Saiyan standalone 170, with superclass being approximately 120, 130. So you could either use him or the blue Vegeta. Now, you could arguably use him because he has more transformations, which means more key links as he goes through. So he does get better, right, as you transform. He might have something like the Goku and Frieza where you get an additional buff depending on who you're against. But who knows? Because while Goku has the Frieza counterpart, Vegeta doesn't have one. That being said, this guy stacks defense all the way through till blue, and of course his start of turn stats get stronger. What could be really good in particular is we're talking this one, because when he enters this, he changes everything. All spheres become physical. It pretty much allows you to have a full heal, especially if you've been stacking all the way. And of course, you get a ridiculous amount of attack. You change all key spheres, and of which you greatly raise attack. It was kind of like a one-hitter quitter kind of deal when he first came out. Now you can kind of imagine this will be increased to, I don't know, 130, 140, possibly. But this will be like 10% attack and defense. Even if it goes up, the most important thing is this will have defense slapped onto it. Um, Maybe the first turn could have damage reduction or guard. Who knows? But the fact is, this is going to be insane, right? Because he's going to transform all the orbs. You're going to get defense. You're going to get a 200% team. You're going to have this. Dude, he is going to be. The numbers, if this is attack and defense, then that's going to be insane. I mean, he gets incrementally bigger. Would it be nice to see that every particular new transformation has a bizarre, kooky mechanic? Maybe, you know. But yes, he is going to be really good. Coming in at 55%, the guy is only on 7,500. Right, you see, the thing is, yeah. So that tech chunk's coming in with less than 7,000 means that this guy is already better. I mean, he is. Wow, he's older than I think. He's 2019, so he's actually 5 years coming up. And at Rainbow, he has just shy of 10,000 defense, a rather respectable 17,000 attack. So he's going to hit ridiculously hard with a fair amount of defense, especially if this pops up right. So that's going to be really good. As he gets this per key sphere obtained in every transformation, it'd be nice if we had a little bit of orb changing, just a little bit, just to help us out, which could be nice. So yes, obviously the links change depending on who you're at, right? Because obviously when you're in Super Saiyan Blue, you're not going to have like godly power for it, or warrior gods or godly power, but you are going to have stuff like Golden Warrior, etc., and just stuff like that. So the links interchange, which makes him arguably better, but yes. So, very much a big hype. Who does he work well with? Well, we have all the Blue Vegetas. It was basically all the godly Saiyans, right? We're talking the 7th anniversary LR could be really good. Could they easy A this year? Who knows? We have Pure Saiyan Vegeta. We have God Goku, who's, ridiculous. All the God Gokus are pretty ridiculous. Transforming Goku, sure. Evolution Blue Vegeta, God Vegeta, you name it, there is a lot. You can see that there will be a huge amount of support coming in for the ones in particular for Mastered Evolution, Worthy Rivals, and Gifted Warriors. These three could be a really good buff to rapid growth, sibling bonds, and heavenly events. Could be another one. Super Saiyan 2 gets a nice boost, right? Could potentially be the best Super Saiyan 2 on there, so that could be really good. Yeah, so huge potential coming from this guy. Absolutely huge. He appears to drop on the 10th, so we are still 10 days away. So that's fine. So you will get your 30 stones. So you will be able to have a punt on the Step Up banner. The Step Up banner, can I just say, is going on to the... No, is it end of month? Usually is end of month. We have... Let's have a look, because we have the super and extreme class version. It goes for one whole month. So you've got time to collect some stones. I would imagine, I think over the course of the month, everyone has enough stones to do this once, and then the rest is totally on you to buy. So you'll get 200 stones from this. I mean, hell, you're going to get 24. If you could get an additional 10 if your pixel is at level 12. So that's 34 stones when you log in, right? And if you have the the subscription bonus, you'll get an extra few in there as well. So that's going to be pretty good. But yes, that's going to be 2024 in a nutshell. There's lots going to go on. We have a huge it's going to be good. There's a huge amount going on this, right? Huge important people. It looks like Cell Saga's going to come in. The new information of the Super Saiyan 3 and Tapion, we've yet to see, but everything is going to shape up pretty well. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of these units because like this guy is a bit disappointing, but surprisingly this Trunks is arguably kind of good. This is terrible, but like this version of him is just so different. It's almost as if you should have just had this guy off the bat, right? Open up with him, it's pretty good. But yeah, we can touch more into who's going to potentially get another Easy A in part two. But yes, if you were to compare this to last year, what was last year? LR Gohan and LR Piccolo, it's probably not going to have the same hype, but we'll see, we'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Welcome to 2024 Dokkan. This is the 9th era, and we are all looking to see what we get. So thank you very much, and I'll continue to do all